Kurt Angle was recently on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he revealed that Vince McMahon told him when he returned to WWE in 2017, "I'm going to have this company for a lot longer than you think, Mr. Angle. I'm 73 right now. My mom lived to be 101. I plan on living until I'm 120. I'm never letting the company go. I'm always going to work here. They're going to have to pry it from my cold, dead hands." Here we are 6 years later. Vince McMahon just turned 78 and he is still involved in the company. He may have merged with UFC, but remember, he did not sell the company. Jake Hager, who was known as Jack Swagger in WWE, recently said that he is retired from MMA and is just going to focus on wrestling. Hager has an unbeaten MMA record of 3 wins, 0 losses, and 1 no contest. He is currently signed to AEW where he has had 55 matches. Jake Hager is in the headlines for another reason as well lately, that being because he said when he left WWE, his plan was to go to MMA, get really good, be undefeated, and go back to WWE and wrestle Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. He added, "A little slight turn. A lot of that happened. We were close. I'd kick Roman's butt. He knows it. I know it. If you want to tell him that, tell him that." As you may know, Dolph Ziggler and Mustafa Ali were both recently released from WWE, and we now know when their contracts was supposed to end. Ziggler wanted to leave a couple of years ago, but was convinced to stay, and Mustafa Ali has had issues with his booking and voiced his frustrations online in the past, so it's unknown if they would have re-signed had they not been released, but both of their contracts were supposed to expire around the middle of 2024. Another thing to note regarding the release of Mustafa Ali, who was supposed to face Dominic Mysterio for the NXT North American Championship at NXT No Mercy, is WWE NXT has announced 8 segments for next week's NXT, but none of them involve Dominic Mysterio. We will have to wait and see what the new plans are for Dominic Mysterio. Dom commented on the release of Mustafa Ali and said it is unfortunate. As you may know, usually when WWE releases a talent, that release comes with a 90-day non-compete clause. So for 90 days, the released talent cannot accept any bookings, and it's been confirmed this latest string of releases came with those non-compete clauses as well. This means the released superstars can sign with another promotion starting December 20th, 2023. Some people have been wondering why WWE released just Top Dollar and not all of Hit Row. When Hit Row was released the first time, it was all 4 members: Top Dollar, Ashante the Adonis, B-Fav, and Isaiah Swerve Scott. Then Top Dollar, Ashante the Adonis, and B-Fav all returned to the company when Triple H took over, and Swerve went to AEW. Well, for those wondering about the remaining 2 members of Hit Row, Ashante Adonis lost to Cameron Grimes in a dark match after Smackdown this week. They may start going by a different name, as Top Dollar said on X. He believes Hit Row is dead, although he said Adonis and B-Fav are stars, and they should get more mic time, stating he believes he was the reason the group never got much mic time in the first place. He also noted B-Fav has been training with Natalya non-stop and just needs an opportunity to showcase what she can do. Moving on to another dark match after SmackDown, John Cena defeated Montez Ford. Montez and Angelo Dawkins would come out while Cena was still laying in the middle of the ring. Montez would cut a promo and have a ref start the match. He would cover Cena quickly, who would kick out and go on to defeat Montez Ford. Rick Boogs recently said in a video on his YouTube channel he believes his time with WWE came to an end due to a political power play. He also stated he would not further comment on it just yet, but in the future he would when it was the right time. As I've mentioned in previous videos, WWE announced that SmackDown is moving to the USA Network starting October 2024 on a brand new 5-year deal. One thing to note with this is Eric Bischoff mentioned that it makes a lot of sense for Raw and NXT to remain on the USA Network, even though there was speculation that they may be leaving. Their media rights deals for both shows are up in September of 2024, though they are still negotiating, and USA Network is still in play for both of those shows as well. He mentioned that WWE Raw set a norm for 52 weeks a year with no off seasons, so there's value in being able to make that statement as a network, and there's a sense of comfort for advertisers. Now, an interesting thing here is he also said that he thinks it would make a lot of sense for USA to turn SmackDown into a 3-hour show, stating USA has obviously had a lot of experience with it. They're very comfortable with it. They've been doing it for a long time. I would be surprised if they didn't. Frankly, I'd be shocked. That's what Eric Bischoff had to say about it. Now, obviously, this is something that fans and Even WWE has debated for a while. Some fans think that one main roster show that's 3 hours is enough, and they think that SmackDown should remain at 2 hours. WWE has contemplated making SmackDown a 3-hour show. Now, some fans would like to see Raw revert back to a 2-hour show, but WWE has said they make way too much profit in that third hour of Raw to ever think about doing that. So it doesn't seem like Raw will ever be going back down to 2 hours. Now, again, this is not confirmed. This is not something that USA Network has said they are going to do to SmackDown. So if you're somebody that wants SmackDown to remain at 2 hours because you think that 5 hours of main roster content is enough on the weekly television shows, there is no need to panic. But it is interesting to note that Eric Bischoff would be shocked if USA Network did not switch SmackDown to 3 hours. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see SmackDown change into a 3-hour show like Monday Night Raw, or if you think it should stay at 2 hours. Thanks so much for watching this video and for any support on the channel. If you enjoyed the content, consider subscribing to see more news and more videos coming soon.